biggest clue from our killer in this following scene. Now the scene shows Loretta going to the bathroom to collect her thoughts. Meanwhile, Donna's in the bathroom with her, and I don't think I'm mistaken by thinking that she was thrown up in the toilet, as she claims that the nerves have gotten the best of her, which I find to be very interesting. Why is she so nervous? Let's talk about that. She goes to tell Loretta about how she's taken a big swing with this show and how she's been trying to save it, doing it all for her son Cliff. Now initially you can take her telling Loretta how mothers can't help but to look after their child and it never stops as a way of like Loretta the character taking this moment to realize, man, I have to do whatever it takes to protect my son and make sure that he doesn't be called the killer for killing his brother. But to me, this goes all the way back to the biggest hint about the plot of the original play, and that was a mother would be willing to do anything to protect her son, even if that means to kill someone to protect her son. This moment to me, I'm 99% sure that Donna has something to do with Ben's murder to protect her son. But the question at hand is, why? We'll be talking about that here in a second. Let's wrap up the episode as Maxine tells Oliver that she's been very impressed by what she's seen so far because it's Oliver. It's his vision. It's him. It's the true version of him, which puts a big smile on Oliver's face. And it's important to note, last time we saw Maxine, what happened to Oliver? His heart gave out. I don't think it's coincidence that she's there yet again. As Dickie has a moment with Loretta and tells her that on the night that he found out that Ben had initially died, he felt free, but he realized that he was trapped this whole time and he just was happy for a brief moment, but then obviously he found out his brother was back only to die again. But the key thing that he says is he couldn't take it anymore because he felt trapped with his brother. As Dickie hugs her and tells her that this has been the best part of his last few months, him saying that to me is almost too on the nose, like it's a distraction for us as the audience to think that Dickie might have had something to do with it, and we'll share my suspect list a little bit later, but I thought that was a little too on the nose at the moment. But Oliver, he has some words for Loretta as well, and he doesn't only just trust her, but he also loves her. This is a big moment for Oliver. Again, we have to remember, this isn't just him falling in love in 2 weeks. They've been working together closely for over a year, so he tells her how much he loves her. As she takes the stage, the police proceed to take Dickie in as Charles and Mabel manage to sneak into Loretta's belongings, and they read the letter and they know her secret. As Loretta stops her performance and makes a confession, she tells everyone in the theater that she was the one that killed Ben. She poisoned his shake, and when it didn't work, she pushed him and killed him. As they take her in, we see Oliver's watching all this happening after just telling her that he loved her. He can't wait to spend more time with her as she's getting arrested. It happens again. Oliver's heart gives out. He falls on the floor, and like I said last week, maybe this will be the moment that will bring the trio back on the same page. Wow, I mean, come on, pulling at the heartstrings at the end of this episode, the funny moments with Detective Williams. This to me was by far my favorite episode of this season so far. But now let's get to the fun, juicy theory parts, which is sharing my updated suspect list. So now Dickie's saying that he was happy to learn that his brother died, only for him to come back to life, to only die again. That to me just looked to be a little bit too easy of him being a killer. But again, he's still on my suspect list. Loretta's confession at the end of the episode to me was just like improvised. Like she had to figure out a way to make sure her son is not the killer. I still think that she might have something to do with it, but right now, again, she's still on the list. But now I want to focus on two key suspects. Now, after the first episode and later in the season, I had mentioned the producers, Donna and Cliff, and you can watch those previous videos to see my reasons why they were initially on my suspect list, but they haven't been in the show as much, so I haven't really been thinking about them as much until this very episode. So let's put the spotlight on Donna, who after this episode, it just seems as clear as day that she not only might have killed Ben, but at least at the bare minimum, she had something to do with it. Because look, we all know she's willing, as she says many times throughout this episode and throughout this season, she's willing to do anything to protect her son, who she inappropriately kisses every now and then, and God knows what else they do behind the scenes. But protecting Cliff, even if it means killing the star of his very first big show. Now the question is, why would she do that? Well, I think it's Maxine. I think Maxine is the reason, because if you all remember, this was going to destroy the show by having her review, which was gonna not be a glowing review about Ben's performance. And I believe Donna not only got word of this, but she might have gotten a hold of Maxine's actual review and she got rid of it with using that shredder. And maybe when Ben fell on stage, everyone, what's the word of the day? Distracted. Everyone was distracted. She took that review, got rid of it, and proceeded to poison Ben. And we find out that it didn't work, obviously. But again, her thought process was, I kill the lead of the show for we can continue to go on, and we'll just recast him for this show can continue to have success for my son. Okay, so pulling it back a minute here, maybe she didn't kill Ben, which brings me to her son Cliff. As Loretta said, poison is more of a woman's method. Again, going back to Donna being the one that poisoned Ben, but it failed at doing so. And now that leaves Cliff's to taking matters to his own hand and finishing the job that his mom started. Or maybe, as we know what he did with Matthew Broderick, maybe he called in a favor and had someone do it for him. So let me know what you all think about the producers. Again, that scene in the bathroom didn't seem so pivotal. It just seemed like that was Donna confessing that she would do anything to protect her son, in doing so, killing the lead of the show. Let me know your thoughts on that. But again, something still feels off to me because I don't want to give up my theory that there are 3 people involved, right? So right now we have Cliff, we have Donna, but who is that third person? I'm still kind of curious on that. Share your suspect list in the comments now. This most likely doesn't mean anything, but I am curious though, the director that got Loretta pregnant. Now we know that that director was from New York. I don't know if he is still alive. I wonder if they're gonna play a part into this show. Well, again, we only got 2 episodes left. Let me know if you all would like to see that director. But also, speaking of characters that may or may not pop up again, do you all think that we'll see Joy again for the rest of the season? What about the actual parents of Ben and Dickie? Are they still alive? Will they make an appearance? Will they share some more revelations? Is there that twin triplet brother sister still out there? And last thing I want to mention is, I think not next week, it has to be in the finale, we're going to eventually see the point of view of Ben throughout that whole day, right? From whoever wrote, you know, you're an effing pig on his mirror, to him getting into that fight with Loretta, to him coming back from the dead, to only dying again. I'm pretty confident that we're going to actually see like the day in the life of Ben before he actually died. So again, if it's not next week, I definitely feel like it will be in the finale. But again, to give you my general take on this episode, I thought it was fantastic. I thought the, again, comedy really worked. It was heartfelt, and it's not that the comedy doesn't work in the show. It's not that I don't have, you know, heartfelt moments. I just feel like everything about what I love about the show was like highlighted perfectly in this episode. I don't think it's a coincidence that it happened to have Detective Williams in it, who again I really missed in this season. I hope we get 1 more, maybe 2 more moments from her in this season. She's fantastic. But hey,